Hello, Camp Benny. I'm so excited to talk to you today about your new website and hopefully working together. My name is Amanda. You probably already know that, but I'm going to jump into a quick little visual so we can all walk through what you can expect if we do decide to work together on the site. First, I'll get into some introductions, talk a little bit about myself, get into the vision I have for your website, and then also how I'm going to solve those pain points when it comes to donations and some other things. Why Squarespace? I build all websites on a platform called Squarespace. So we'll talk about why that's a plus, and then also a little bit about how the process will go. So first, again, I'm Amanda. You probably knew that already. And then this is Nova. She is my sidekick and junior designer. No, it is me designing your site. We will be working one-on-one together in a really collaborative process, which is really fun. I've been designing websites for 10 years. I have over 200 launches on Squarespace specifically, and I absolutely love what I do. I live in Atlanta, but I work with clients all over the world, so time zones are no issue, and I'm always here for you. Fun fact, actually, I was an art teacher after college, and during those summers, I was an art camp instructor. So Camp Benny is really hits home for me and is really right up my alley. So I'm really excited about it. Okay, so what hit me really hard when I was reading through everything you told me about Camp Benny was the whole idea of process art. I love the idea that kids are able to in, just experience the process and not be stressed about this final end result. Depending on what's going on in these kids' lives, they really need an outlet, they need the creativity. And I think just encouraging them to experience the process is so cool. So, what came to mind for me is creating a website that feels like a process. Now, it's not going to be chaotic by any means, but I want it to feel like you're creating something as you scroll through the site. At first, I want to start with a story. What is Camp Benny about? What is your mission? We'll do this in a way that's really digestible. So Google likes words. Humans don't love a lot of words. So I always find that happy medium where Google loves what's on the page, but humans can digest what's happening and read some impactful statements. Speaking of, I love bringing in really big stats like how many kids have been to camp, how many scholarships we've offered. I think that's just so cool and something that could really touch people. So I love bringing that in with animations. And again, just making this feel like a really cool process as you're scrolling down the site. One thing I thought would be amazing to include kind of in the middle here are testimonials from campers. I think whether it's a camper or parent considering coming, whether it is a possible camp instructor that might apply, or whether it's our donors, we want them to see that Camp Benny is really impactful for the kids. So having those testimonials that show this amazing experience and how it changed their life, I think is really important here, kind of in the middle of this flow. Next, I want to make sure that any potential camp instructor can apply super easily. We don't want them searching everywhere. We want these amazing instructors, so let's make that easy for them. And then that leads us to our final CTA, that call to action, which is donations. So I know it's really important to keep these scholarships going, and we want to make it easy for people to donate. People can be a little have short attention spans, I guess. And so we want to make sure everything is so obvious and just right there for them. So that big obvious donation area will be there at the bottom of the page. But I also want to note it's really important. So in the header of your website, that's where your logo and navigation is. I will have a button that says donate, and that header will follow people as they scroll. So that donate option will always be readily available. How will we accept donations? Up until this point, I know you may have been collecting checks and keeping up with this mail and receipts and everything. So we're hoping to just get rid of that and simplify your life so people can donate easier and you guys can keep track of it all easier. So donations will now be completely online through Squarespace payments. So again, that platform where I'll build your site, that's Squarespace, and they have a built-in payment processor. It's incredibly secure. People can pay with credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay. It just makes it really easy for anyone to give you a donation. There's a few ways that I'll set this up. So first, we can have some quick kind of click suggested payments. So $25 donation, $50, just something people can click easily, not think. They can also fill in their own amount. I have this idea of impact-based donations. So maybe with $25, it says this covers one camper's clay for a week. Maybe with the $50, it says this covers the entire camp's paint for a week. So people really connect with knowing where their money's going and what it's doing and feeling like they have a tangible impact. So I want to make sure that comes through. We can also do recurring donations. So cash flow is something that's really important, and I know something that can be a little bit unsteady. So setting those recurring donations so that people can just set it and forget it. You guys know it's coming in. That's something that we can do here as well. Everyone will get an automated thank you email when they donate, and more importantly, they'll get an automated receipt. So you're no longer having to send any tax deductible receipts manually. That all just comes straight to their emails. So it's just all completely automated. So quickly, why Squarespace? Again, this platform is something I've been working on this platform for 10 years. It's incredible user-friendly, but still very customizable. I have built my whole 10-year career on, I'm calling it kind of bend the builder. So the builder is already amazing, but I have all of these techniques to create almost anything that you ask for design-wise. But at the same time, you can always feel comfortable on the back end of the site. You're not going to feel completely lost. Within Squarespace, they host both your website, your domain, but also all of the security is right there built in, and payments are all processed through the site. So you're not looking for 4 different logins. This is something I hear from clients all the time. They're like, oh my God, I don't even know where my website's hosted or where my domain's hosted. It'll all be in one place. You have one login and that is it, which is great. On platforms like WordPress, you typically pay quite a bit extra for security to make sure your site's locked down. That is included with Squarespace. And also your domain will just auto renew, just nothing to worry about. Lastly, I'm a Squarespace Circle member. And basically what that means is I've designed a ton of websites on Squarespace. So it gives us some extra perks like discounts for your first year of website hosting if you pay annually, access to the newest features before other people get them. We also get really, really good customer service. So if there's ever an issue, we get quick help. And then if we decide to work together, here's a bit about how the process will go. First of all, you're working with a human, me. So I believe AI can help us in ways like efficiency and wordsmithing things. And there are absolutely applications for AI, but I want to make it clear that I still find a lot of importance in the human touch with art and design. I will be the one physically designing your site. It will not be AI or a robot. It's okay if people do that, but for this situation, I think it's so important that we do this in a human way. If we decide to move forward, we'll do an intake call. So on that call, I will ask you a bunch of questions about your brand, your vision for the site, likes and dislikes. If you have some sites that you know you like, maybe some inspiration, feel free to bring those to the call. If not, totally fine. You don't need to prepare anything. I'll come with plenty of questions. After that call, I will start on the homepage. So homepage always comes first. I always say there's no point in designing an entire website for you guys to be like, I don't know if this is really the direction we want to go. So homepage comes first. It not only gives you guys a visual of where we're going, having something tangible really helps start the process, but also we can collaborate on the design itself and make sure we're in a good place before moving too far. Speaking of the process itself, it is always collaborative. This is not some like big agency experience. You're working with me personally. I am personally designing your site. So I'm never going to hand you something and say, hope you like it, be on your way. I will listen to what you have to say. You are absolutely part of this. I won't ask you to like hop in and design, but you can absolutely give feedback and I will always listen. Lastly, something my clients really, really like is this digital autonomy training. So at the end of the process, I'll of course help you with connecting your domain or buying your domain, as well as getting your site launched. But once that's all done, I want you to feel autonomous. I don't want you to feel lost. Like, now what? How do I even access my site? So I get you access to the back end of the site and I create a screencast video showing you how to make basic edits, like make text changes, change a photo, maybe add a blog if that's something you do, so that you don't feel completely stuck without me. I'm always here to help. I'm never going anywhere. We can do ongoing website maintenance as well if that's something you need, but I just want you to feel like you have a little bit of control over the site as well. So I'm a big believer that everyone deserves access to art. This is something I'm really passionate about. I grew up with this craft drawer and I was allowed to bring string and glitter and glue, and I never knew what I was making. It was completely about the process of spending time with my siblings and my family and just having a creative outlet. And so this is something I really believe in, and I want to bring more campers to Benny. Thank you so much for your attention. As I said, I'm Amanda McNay. I am the owner of AJM Design Studio. You can go to ajmdesignstudio.com to review my portfolio, just see anything that I've done in the past, reach out for any questions you have. After this call, I'm going to send you a proposal, and I'll also send this deck along so you can remember what we discussed. I'm so excited to hopefully work together, and I'm always here if you have questions.